Things are very different in the north of the capital right now, particularly for Arsenal. They thrashed West Ham 6-0. And after that game, Bukayo Saka said, we were 4-0 up in the first half and we could have scored many more, including myself. I think we smelled blood today and went for the kill. And obviously it was quite something if you watch them, Craig. Even to compare the likes of this Arsenal team and Barcelona at the weekend, after they score their goals, Arsenal, they're just relentless still. Barcelona just don't even seem to have a drive like this. Like Arsenal, when you look at them right now, they just are relentless as a team.
Well, they're playing for each other. They're playing for a league title. They're playing for the manager. Dare I say it, they're playing for their badge. They're playing with pride. All of those sort of cliches. And every one of them, Barcelona are not doing. You know, those players have pretty much chucked it. You know, they threw the towel in, the bulk of them, the Barcelona players, probably a third of the way into the season. And I include the likes of Lewandowski and others in that. Look, if Barcelona might as well change the manager now, right? Because at this rate, they could finish outside the top four. They'll get whacked by Napoli probably in the Champions League. And it's becoming embarrassing. Granada, second bottom of the league, scoring 3 goals just to add to all the other teams that have scored at the Montjuic. But the Arsenal thing that really impressed me. That was like, no. Arteta, Moyes, I played for him at Everton. Am I going to feel sorry? No. We have business to do here. There's goal difference. There's business. We're going to put a marker down, and it was relentless. And it could have been 8, could have been 9. Dare I say it? It could have been double figures. It was so impressive, and the gulf was so big between the sides. And I heard Stevie and the guys talking about it yesterday. The defending, not only from set pieces by West Ham, but in general play, was absolutely horrendous. And you do that against this Arsenal side, and they will punish you. Look, all the talk in January was a striker. You know, will they win the league without a striker? Will they do this without a striker? Will they do that without a striker? If you look at Liverpool, Mo Salah apart, who's injured at the moment, do they really have an out-and-out front man that's going to get you the goals to compete with Man City, who are the team to beat? The answer is no. City are the only side with a recognised quality, world-class striker. What Arsenal have done very well this season is they've shared the goals around. Now, Liverpool have got goals, but only 4 players in this Liverpool side have got 4 goals or more. You look at Arsenal, it's 9. So they're not as prolific, but they're sharing it around. The last 4 games they've played, 16 goals. So I don't think there's any talk at Arsenal at the moment of, oh, we're struggling for goals. Oh, we're a little worried. And yeah, 6-0 is a bit of an anomaly against a half-decent Premier League team. But you look at Liverpool when they had success. They won the Champions League, they won the Premier League. Roberto Firmino was the front guy. Roberto Firmino was never what you would call a prolific striker. He was a link-up player, he was a worker, he's a grafter, and he got his quota of goals. That's kind of what Arsenal is at the moment. And maybe in a sense it's what Liverpool have become again. With Nunez, you know, only 8 league goals for him. Plays on the left sometimes, plays on the right, plays sometimes up front. And I think from Arsenal's perspective, it's about the set pieces, which they've been obviously great at, and the boys touched on it yesterday. But it's about sharing the goals around of the guys that come in and do a job, like Leandro Trossard, who again did absolutely brilliantly, like the goals from midfield, from Odegaard and from Declan Rice. And they're going to need Havertz to chip in. They're going to need Martinelli to chip in. And Bukayo Saka's got 10 goals. He looks like he's just come through that period of flatness where he'd gone off the boil a little bit. And that game at the weekend, although it was pretty easy for him, it just looked like he was back sort of puffing his chest out again. And I think for me, and I've always said, and I don't know what the guys think, that Arsenal, out of the 3 teams, or out of the 2 teams, are the team for me that are just slightly ahead, chasing down Man City. It is very close, Kay. Very close. City are still the team to beat. But the reason I say that is because they've really shared the goals around the side. And when you can do that, and if you can continue to do that, I think you're in pretty good shape going forward.
Looking very impressive, as Craig said, right? Arsenal right now, Frank.
Yeah, they are. They are, and they increased their level comparing to last season, the experience. And I think William Saliba said it on the French TV, that he knows that they're better than last season, but they will have to win every game until the end of the season if they want to hope for a title, because City is very strong. but they're getting better and better, more experience. And I love, you know what, the spirit of playing together. Mario touched that, about the fact that you have to play together in order to get the results. And we are talking about Chelsea. That's exactly what Arsenal are doing right now. They play all together. It's why many players score goals. They're not targeting somebody to score the goal, like a striker. City proved many times, some years ago before Haaland came, that you can win titles without even a striker. Yeah, you can have a superstar, like Messi, like Ronaldo, like Mbappe, and maybe win titles, but you have another way of thinking the football, and I like that spirit, that collective spirit, which makes me think that I love that sport because it's for everybody. It's not for one guy. It's not basketball when you play, and I saw the Lakers players some years ago where everybody was getting the ball, but at the end, you knew that it would be Kobe Bryant would go for the shot. That's different with football. That's what I love that game. It can come from everybody.
Yeah, Mario, teamwork makes the dream work, eh?
I think also when we look at Arsenal, right, it's a team that wants to win the game in a beautiful way. They're not always, as much as the other ones that we talk about, that are business. I think City is, of course, you understand there are similarities in that, because City also want to win in a beautiful way. But the rest is now on the term of business. When you look at a Liverpool side, they have great games, but sometimes it's purely business, how they want to win the game. And I think City and Arsenal always been like that. So when we look at Arsenal, the way they perform and the way they play the game, even when you saw the last goal, for example, what Rice scored, there were two midfielders missing out on the occasion of trying to get the ball. The ball comes in the middle, and normally you're playing against a West Ham side that is not performing like they normally are performing, because if you go a couple of weeks back, they were in a comfortable run. And now you could see that the ball still drops to Rice, and he hits it and strikes against his former team. So moments like that, I think we talked about it in the beginning of the season, where we said, for them to move into a character like Rice, that could be the implement for what the team needs. Because we always talk about Arsenal, great football, but they miss out on a little bit of character. Now they got a bit of the character, I feel like, in Rice, and now I feel like they are the team that we definitely have to put our eyes on, in the sense of will they push all the way through and really get a problem? Because last season, we don't have to talk about the disappointment what they achieved, in the sense of not getting there. But this season, let's see if they can push all the way. And I'm sure Guardiola and them too, because Arteta and Guardiola, when your two mates play against each other, don't you love them most by beating each other just because of being friends? You want to get one over your friend. And he will push all the way just to make sure he gets one over his friend.
Now, obviously, Man City are favourites as we just look at the Premier League title odds, but it just goes back to what you were saying, Craig, that when you think about who's most likely to push them all the way between Arsenal and Liverpool, it is Arsenal that you're leaning towards them because of what you're seeing.
Yeah, I've leaned towards them pretty much all season, and as I said, it's very close. I'm nitpicking between the two. City are still the team to beat. Look, we lay the facts on the table. There's 3 teams going for the title at the moment, and only one of them have a recognised world-class striker, and that's not Arsenal and Liverpool. So those two are going to have to figure out a different way to do it. The same thing that City had to do before they hit Haaland and Sergio Aguero had sort of left, and they did figure it out. And yeah, they've got both of these sides have got front players that are very attacking, and yeah, maybe Liverpool will hang the hat possibly in Mo Salah when he's fit again, who obviously gets his more than his fair quota of goals. You wouldn't call him an out-and-out number 9, but he gets his quota of goals. But I think what we do know is City have this big Norwegian up front that's a goal machine. The other two do not. So they have to figure out a title challenge in a different way. And I just feel at the moment Arsenal have came through that little sort of blip around mid-December, Christmas time. They had the break, they went away to the Middle East, they took the families, whatever the discussion was around that. And they came back, and the big game was at the Emirates a week or two ago, and they put a marker down against Liverpool. They really put them, and it wasn't the strongest Liverpool side, and it certainly wasn't the strongest performance. But for me, they're just 4 or 5% ahead of Liverpool in terms of putting a title charge together. I might be wrong. Maybe it is Liverpool that comes. I hope they're all in there. But I think what we do know, City are the team to beat. But I like what I'm seeing from Arsenal, and I like the fact they're sharing the goals around, and they're getting goals from set pieces, and they're getting goals from defenders, midfielders, and the forward players.
Who do you think pushes hardest, Frank? Arsenal or Liverpool?
I was afraid you would ask me that question because I'm really indecisive. Because I'm like Craig, you know, I mean, according to what we saw when Arsenal and Liverpool played against each other, I definitely go for Arsenal. But we know the power of reaction that Liverpool can get, and with Mo Salah coming back, and I'm sure Klopp, you know, dealing with the players in the dressing room, making sure they're gonna go to the right side. I still think that Liverpool is a little bit ahead. You know, it will surprise me that they will get another bad performance that they had at the Emirates. So I have to go with Liverpool, and the fact that maybe winning against Chelsea, which will make me sad in a cup final, will push them to their best.
Oh, well, Mario, you were saying you wonder if Arsenal can go the distance and can push City this season once again. You're the tiebreaker today. Who is it, Arsenal or Liverpool, who pushes hardest?
I have to be a tiebreaker because I already picked Liverpool before, so I don't want to change it really, because I said if one man can motivate his team, and if there's one man that wants to walk out of this league with the Premier League title, it's Klopp. You know, he knows this is his last one. There's no doubts about it. I think that his focus will be get me that title, guys, no matter what happens. Even if when you see his players talk, you know, like Van Dijk, when he makes his interviews, the way he talks about it and the way he says, like, okay, we know the goal, our goal is set, and our motivation is the direction we want to go. He talks about, he said, I will focus on this season. Why is he saying that? Because he knows he has to talk about this season, because next season will be a new man. They don't know what's going to happen with the deals of him, Salah, and Trent, because those are the kind of key figures in that side. So I think the motivation for them to walk away with a trophy, I don't know if I'm the deal breaker. I will go then. Liverpool will push it still, I think.